I'm Ramón Romero Jr., Fort Worth, Texas, District 90. Plain and simple, it's Claudia Ordaz Perez. We have a real bond in the Democratic caucus, and with certain members, those bonds are stronger and greater because of the reality of what we face today in a Republican majority House, and como se dice en la Cámara de Representantes. Right now, we need real representatives, real representantes like Claudia. Look, nothing against Art. Art is, everyone knows Art's a good guy. He really is. He's a nice guy. But right now, nice guys finish last on the Texas House floor. And if your guy finishes last, guess who else finishes last? Your district. And we cannot afford, at least not right now. I know why I was elected. I was elected from my people in Fort Worth to go down there and bring back results and to represent my people well, not to worry about my committee assignments and come back home and tell everybody what a great committee assignment. That means nothing. What matters is that you stood your ground when it's time and that you're able to maneuver through that difficult situation and bring some results home. I was terribly impressed, not terribly, incredibly impressed with what Claudia was able to do as a freshman. That doesn't happen. I tell you, the whole idea of children should be seen and not heard, that's also the same thing that people will tell you when you're on the House floor. That wasn't the case for Claudia. She was able to have incredible success because she was able to build bonds by her work ethic. And, you know, I mean, I grew up in a household with a lot of really, really strong women in my house. My sisters and my mother. Claudia reminds me a lot of my family in that she's an incredible hard worker, but she's able to be convincing because she's able to make people care about El Paso. And right now, that's what you really need. Well, I mean, look, there's nothing worse than the way redistricting happened this year. And I think that since I'm in El Paso, no one suffered redistricting worse than El Paso, Texas. There's no way you should be sitting in a city as important as El Paso and had a representative taken away. It was there. It was easy. It could have happened, and it didn't happen. And therefore, those people that came back from D.C., and said, you know, we're coming back to fight for El Paso, well, I'm sorry, you lost. You lost for El Paso. And I think that if there would have been true unity and we would have fought it out a little bit longer, redistricting wouldn't have been as bad. And I won't get into the vote, why we were there. You've heard it all. Look, these bills are harming us. The fact that so many mail-in ballots are being rejected, the fact that so many people are saying, esta elección yo no voy a votar porque tengo miedo que algo va a ser mal, no quiero que me vengan a investigar. Look, Ken Paxton, the Attorney General that's a crook, he absolutely just wants indictments. He doesn't want to find someone guilty. He just wants to say, I arrested them and then leave it in limbo. There's people all over the state that were accused of a crime and have never seen their day in court. That's what we're facing right now, which is let me chill the vote in El Paso. Let me chill the vote in Fort Worth. Let me chill the vote in South Texas. Let me chill all those Latinos because, well, they're growing too fast, they're too much. Over the last 20 years, 80% of all that growth has been Latino growth. 10 million people, 8 million Latinos. Come on. Because she's a rare candidate. She's a rare representative. I'll say it again. You typically don't see people have success as a freshman. So for her to be successful and still be vocal, typically you're penalized for being vocal. And the fact that even the opposing party knows her value, or at least they knew it last session, that's why now they're still trying to number their folks. They're working against her. And if they gang up on one of our family members, we're going to be here to represent family, Claudia's family. We trust in Claudia, and that's why we're here. This is urgent. It's urgent right now that you send your absolute best to Austin, Texas. I want you to look deeply into the character of these two people that are running for office right now, the work ethic of those two members, and then ask yourself, who do you believe in the most? Do you believe in the person that's proven to be able to bring something back home for El Paso, or do you want someone that's just a nice guy? Nice guys finish last.